And we are back with Hal Odell. You just heard Hide the Whiskey. In a lot of your songs, you've got people struggling to let go. Um, this is another person struggling to let go in his own way, but you've got a slightly different look because this is someone who's trying hard to let go. This is someone who wants to let go and move forward and get on to something better. Um, but even there, you don't necessarily paint that as an easy or natural process.
No, I mean, I think there is a certain amount of hope in this song, but again, it's not hope based in the certainty that everything is going to work out the way I want it to work out as the character. Uh, Again, he's afraid of the dangers of his own addiction, and you know, I haven't personally struggled with alcohol addiction, but I have lots of it in my family, and I've seen how destructive it is. And it helped me to paint this character as a guy who wants the life that he can have and doesn't want to lose his wife, and doesn't want to lose his family, doesn't want to lose his life, and hopes that that's possible and wants to try. But because the song is a snapshot, it's not a, you know, beginning, middle, and end, happily ever after, sad ever after, what have you. It's a point in time where he's hoping that it will be okay and trying his best to be okay.
So you said it before. I have it written down here myself. Things we've lost are not coming back for the most part. Uh, you know, maybe fashion trends circle around every few decades or so, but for the most part, what's gone is gone. So I know I'm asking you to shift from keen observer to someone starting to think of solutions, but how do people begin to process these losses instead of getting stuck down in the fear or in the masking it with alcohol or anger or things like that?
Yeah, I guess to me, the first place would be to acknowledge that this is difficult, that living is difficult. Uh, and giving ourselves a little grace for that. And if we like the place our life is in, we're going to be resistant to losing that. And that's okay. Um, but I don't know. Like I said before, the rate of change of our society. I mean, I look back at my parents who were raised in rural northeast Alabama and had outdoor plumbing until they were in high school. I have children that came of age as the smartphone was becoming a thing, and I have grandchildren that won't know anything but an AI driven world. And so there's three generations, and we've gone, so far just in this country that it's dizzying. But I think the things that are unchanging are people. The people we love, the people we are around, the relationships we have. Um, the things that we enjoy, and those experiences are forever. As the individual experiences aren't, but that reality is. And um, when you get down to it, a job's a job. Jobs there's a reason they give you money, and it's to get you to do it. And you most people work to make money to live their lives. And I certainly don't have any magic answers for keeping up with the dizzying pace of change now. But there's no alternative. And man, I write plenty of songs about people who wallow in the past because they're either unable or unwilling to acknowledge reality. And the reality is things change.
There's one character on the album who I don't think really does any wallowing in the past, but that's not necessarily for the better. With Harlan County Math, you
Mm.
see someone realizing the old rules don't apply anymore, and it turns into license to sort of ignore those rules, those norms, those safeguards on our behavior because the safeguards around us are falling down. So, uh, why do you include that character in the album? Someone who, I guess, adapted, but not well.
Well, that guy adapted, uh, not in a novel way. And breaking the rules is not a recent invention. Um, but if you look at the spectrum of how people adapt, people, you know, they change. You change and play by the rules and live in the society that has some integrity, some amount of ethics. But there are plenty of people that look at the world and say the world's a rigged game. I'm not playing by the rules anymore. When the guys that run the casino are not playing by the rules, and so if if they can steal and cheat and lie in Washington, I can steal and cheat and lie in Harlan County.
Yeah, I
And
think I would
I
agree that the world is a bit of a rigged game, but I don't necessarily agree that it gives me license to start rigging it against others.
no, 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 absolutely not. But you see people have such varied responses to getting along in the world, um, and to some extent, I'm reporting the news. I'm not saying this is a good way to live your life. Obviously, the travails uh, in Appalachia with this trouble with drugs and the loss of a historical economic drivers is horrible. And just because that character has found a way, you know, when you get right down to it, he just leaves a bigger trail of destruction than he started with in the people around him.
How do you adapt to the big changes in your life?
I think I do it like everybody else. Um, I had a job that I really liked right up until the day I stopped uh, and turned right around and dove into music, and this was going on 12 years ago. Um, but there's certainly was a certain amount of grieving of loss of place, loss of community, and loss of money and structure in my life. And you know, I, I I grieve loss like I assume everyone else does. And but I try to here again grab on the things that are good and fulfilling for me and satisfying, and the people that are important in my life, and not give those other things any more weight than they deserve. And that's easy to say, and the reality is, I grieve and struggle with those changes. Like I said, just like I think everyone else does, and that's I think that's part of the universal appeal of songs that confront those things head on, because to some extent, songs that don't make me feel bad. It's like, you're going to go on a Facebook and doom scroll and see that everyone has a perfect life but you. But at some level, that's not true. And so maybe my music is the opposite of doom scrolling. It's pull the covers back, and once once we realize that other people are rowing the same boat we are, it's comforting. To me, it's comforting that we're not alone.
Well, I like to end my chats by having the artist choose a song. Always give a little rule ahead of time. For you, for someone who's had his songs put out by so many people, um, this is going to make someone's day. I'd like you to choose not which of your songs are your favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but out of all of the songs you've written and had other people put out into the world, I'd like you to choose your favorite interpretation and performance, someone who you think just did a phenomenal job making your words their own.
Um, wow, this is a great question, and if I were more nimble, I'd have an answer on the tip of my tongue. Um, there's a song that I wrote with Ben Jarrell a while back called "Bottom of My Heart," and a guy named Nick Sizemore released it this past year on his album, and it was it was exactly as you said. It was brought to life in a way that I thought, man, that's he's made that song his own, and I'm proud to be a part of that song. But that's the example that comes to mind. "Bottom of My Heart" by Nick Sizemore.
All right, let's play that to wrap things up. Hal Odell, thanks so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you so much. It's been a great morning. Thanks for talking.